dumb to know that these things happened, and I didn't know about it.
Did you have any suspicions?
Nothing.
I mean, listening to her, I feel for her, obviously. But does it speak to her just being clueless in this case, or does it speak to the evil and the calculating way that this sinister guy pulled this off?
Well, you listen to an old lady talk like that, and you do feel for her a little bit, but I kind of hold that in check a lot of times until I learn more, because this guy grew up in her house and grew up to be what I think looks like a profoundly evil individual, and usually the upbringing is involved. And so the extent to which she really had no idea that her son was a monster, I'm going to hold off on agreeing with that until I learn a little bit more.
Okay, we got to leave it there. Brian, thanks. Sheriff Dwight Deal, we appreciate it as well. Let's gladly turn the page, move on to a different topic now. And there's no doubt the economy is a priority for President Barack Obama. He's been laying out his economic plan to Congress, but today he was really focusing on oversight, transparency, accountability. People want that. Speaking of Prime News correspondent Rochelle Carey, give us more details, Rochelle.
I like this, Mike. President Obama basically said he doesn't want companies wasting the government's bailout money on things like million-dollar office makeovers and interior decorating. Yeah, it happened. It's no coincidence that this comes just one day after negative reports surfaced about the former CEO of Merrill Lynch. Talking about John Thain, he apparently spent $1.2 million of the company's money redecorating his office while the company was losing billions of dollars. According to documents, he paid an interior decorator $800,000 and bought an $87,000 area rug. Merrill Lynch lost almost $1.8 billion in the last quarter alone, and they were just recently bought out by Bank of America. Today, while meeting with the Vice President and leaders of Congress, President Obama made it clear that the U.S. government cannot allow this type of wasteful spending to continue. Listen to this.
Some of the reports that we've seen over the last couple of days about companies that have received taxpayer assistance, then going out and renovating bathrooms or offices, or in other ways not managing those dollars appropriately.
President Obama said the government's regulation of the financial markets has some major weaknesses, and the American people won't have confidence in economic reform until there's oversight and accountability. So he didn't specifically name John Thain, but I think people kind of knew who he was talking about.
87 grand for a rug.
Did you hear anything else I said after that?
I didn't.
I didn't think so.
That just sounds criminal, especially with what's gone on in our economy. So many people hurting. Rochelle, thanks for that.
You bet.
All right, here's another one. It got my goat. Lyrics of a new Britney Spears song. Part of the lyrics, all the boys and all the girls are begging to. Then the next words, if you seek Amy, what? Oh, no, now I get it, because she's really spelling out the F word here. Ah, great. And radio stations are playing this crap. And they edit it out. They're trying to do some fancy edits. Bull, it's the same thing. It's wrong. What do you say? 1-877-TEL-HLN's the number.
First 100 Days is sponsored by ExxonMobil. Taking on the world's toughest energy challenges. Go to cnn.com/44th president for a complete look at the new administration.
One of the factors impacting energy prices is growing global demand. And one way to put downward pressure on prices is to make more supply available. ExxonMobil has invented a breakthrough technology that we've just begun using here in the U.S. to access cleaner burning natural gas that's locked in very tight, hard rocks. We could produce enough gas from one U.S. source alone to heat 50 million homes for almost a decade.
Macedonia, timeless.
Take a trip down memory lane. The best clips from CNN's massive news archive. Outrageous moments.
Colin Powell shaking his booty?
It's not just another cable news show. HLN, Saturday and Sunday nights, 7 and 9 Eastern.
Morning Express with Robin Meade. Monday morning starting 6 Eastern on HLN.
Britney, making headlines again, this time for some pretty suggestive language in her new song. It's called If You Seek Amy, which if you stop and listen closely, pretty much spells out the F word. We're about to play some of it, so parents, you take the kids out of the room if you'd like. Mom and Dad, why are we doing this story? We just want you to know. We want to warn you. This is what's out there. I'm thinking of the mom in her minivan with her little 8-year-old and a couple of her friends. We just want you warned. We don't want you blindsided by this, but here we go. Give this a listen. All right, I think you get it there. It doesn't make any sense with the words, if you seek Amy, but if you spell out the crude reference to sex, then it does. All right, joining me now to talk about this one, Tim Winter, president of the Parents Television Council, says this song violates the broadcast decency law. Also with us, Tommy Chuck, program director at WFLZ Radio in Tampa, his station playing the song, I believe, in an edited version. We'll get to that in a second. Your phone calls on this. What do you think of this? 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. Tim, let's start with the law. Is this really violating? It would seem to me you're spelling out the F word. That's a violation, but tell me about it.
Well, as one of the terms of a radio broadcast license is to wait until 10 p.m. before you air indecent content. And in my opinion, spelling out the F word in front of children is indecent. And I think that radio broadcasters need to be mindful of their legal obligation to wait until 10 o'clock at night before they air indecent material.
You going to take any action? What are you talking to some radio stations?
Well, we've certainly sent out advisories to all the big radio station groups, to the NAB, just reminding them of their legal obligation. As you just did a moment ago, cautioning parents, making sure parents are aware of this. You know, most folks wouldn't hire Britney Spears as a parenting coach, but they certainly might think that her music is okay for their teens and preteen girls, as it has been for most of the past decade or so. We want to make sure that parents, as you said, are not blindsided.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want to do. Britney Spears is going to do what she does, and there are certain stations that are going to play it. We just don't want the parents out there of the young ones, and let's face it, that's a lot of Britney's audience, those young, the 8th grade crowd, and some younger, some a little bit older. By the way, we did reach out to Jive Records, try to get a statement from them. They didn't get back to us. Tommy, what about that? Are you concerned you're in any kind of violation here, and what's your edited version? Tell us about it.
Well, I think the album version is definitely questionable.
Yeah.
I think the Parents Television Council did a good thing by raising the flag and making people aware of it. And I think it's always good that parents know what their kids are listening to, who they're hanging out with, what they're watching on TV. And so when we heard the song, I think I really think it's a great song. It might be the best on the CD, but the title of the song is questionable, for radio airplay. So we at 93.3 FLZ in Tampa thought that we would err on the side of caution, and we would do an edit that, just like we do for many songs that we play on our.
What's the edit?
The edit is we changed the K in seek. We just take that out, and it becomes If You See Amy. And we also have a version that kind of spoofs on our morning show. The guy's name's MJ. It's the MJ Morning Show, and we have a version that's If You See MJ.
Okay.
So that just like we do several songs that are on our playlist, we feel like that edit makes everybody happy.
Do you really though, Tommy? Let me challenge you on that, because it sounds pretty much the same. Seek or see. I mean, you're not fooling us here.
Well, I agree with you. It does sound generally the same, but to be quite honest with you, we've had no complaints. And if somebody never heard the album version, they would never know the difference.
Tim, you okay with that edit?
No, I think that by removing one consonant, it doesn't make you a more responsible broadcaster. If you know that this is going, especially at a time of day when children are in the listening audience, it certainly might be able to skirt the station from an FCC governmental fine. Okay. But again, I don't think it makes you a more responsible broadcaster by doing that.
We'll let Tommy respond to that when we come back. Also, we'll take your phone call, see what you're thinking. 1-877-TEL-HLN is the number. I just want to be warned, and I think I agree with Tim. I'd like this played after hours. What do you think? Stay with us.
If you have diabetes, then you know what this is. It's your lifeline. Luckily for us, these new meters are more accurate, they're easier to use, and the best news is you don't have to prick your fingers anymore. Access Diabetic Supply will send you one of these new meters, no charge. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, your testing supplies may also be covered. Call Access now to see if you qualify. They bill Medicare or your insurance company directly. There are no upfront costs, and they deliver your supplies right to your door for free. Call now and find out why thousands of people choose Access.
For more information, call 1-800-901-8063. Operators are standing by.
Access is America's choice for diabetic supplies. Call Access today. You'll be glad you did.
Is this what your phone bill feels like to you? Stop paying so much. Save money with Vonage at the low price of $24.99 a month. Vonage works by connecting your high-speed internet with your phone. Get unlimited calls across the U.S., plus 25 amazing features. Just $24.99 a month. Call 877-4VONAGE and get your first month free.
HLN, tonight at 7.
They know something. There's something going on here.
Jane Velez-Mitchell takes a hard look at today's newsmakers and new outrages.
So when and where does it end?
She's on your side. Issues with Jane Velez-Mitchell, tonight, 7 Eastern on HLN.
Monday morning starting at 6 on HLN. Morning news gets a wake-up call. Morning Express with Robin Meade. Monday morning starting 6 Eastern on HLN.
Welcome back. Continuing our spirited discussion about a new Britney Spears song. It's called If You Seek Amy. What she's really doing here is spelling out the F word. So we're talking about what should we do about this? We're doing the story because I want to warn parents out there. Don't be naive. This is what your kids could be listening to. If you're carpooling in the car, moms and dads out there, cut this one off. We're talking with Tim Winter from Parents Television Council. Obviously, he has a problem with this one. Also talking to Tommy Chuck. Now, his station plays it. They've made an edit. Let's give it a quick listen so you get a feel for what we're talking about here. Okay, there we go. We got another taste of it there. Tommy, you were challenged by Tim and myself as well that the edit's not enough. One question I have for you, and I'll let you respond. Do you warn parents as you guys play and say, hey, parents, a little questionable here. We warned you. Here it is. Do you at least give them that?
Well, I would disagree with you. I think the edit that we make, like I said, we've got over 600,000 listeners to our radio station, and we've been playing it for over 3 weeks at, all hours of the day, and I have not gotten one email complaint. I've not gotten one phone call complaint. And, Tim, a second ago, which I respect his opinion, and I'm glad that he, like I said, raised the flag and brought this to an issue a couple of weeks ago. So, radio stations will make the edit because I think the edit is necessary. But he kind of called... into question, our responsibility as broadcasters. I think, we're responsible to make sure we follow FCC guidelines. Our edit does that, and we're also, called as responsible broadcasters to respond to community standards and our listeners. And, nobody's complained. So,
well, I hear you. By the way, we did try to reach out to Jive Records. No response from them as of yet. I just think the edit isn't enough. It sounds the same, Tommy. Let's listen to what the callers have to say. And we do appreciate you coming on, by the way, and mixing it up with us here. Melissa in Oklahoma. Melissa, your thoughts?
Hello.
Go ahead, Melissa.
Hi.
Hey.
I just wanted to say that I think that the media and the music critics are giving Britney just a really hard time. They never give her a chance. There are tons of rap artists out there that do the same exact thing that she's doing, and they get zero negative attention. They just get paid more. They get more record sales. Britney's not...
Okay, Melissa, you make a good point. Now, I'm not going to... She's spelling out the F word in a song, so she's not going to get a pass on this show. But let me ask Tim. Tim, why are we zoning in on Britney and not some of the other songs out there?
Well, I think that anything Britney touches all of a sudden becomes fodder for the entertainment news shows every night. But the caller is correct. In the grand cosmic order of things, when you talk about something that glorifies violent behavior, gang behavior, criminal behavior, you know what, there are more harmful concerns, but I think that this very much deserves parental concern. I think if you talk to most parents around the country, they would agree with you.
To Melissa's point, I think we should be shutting down half the songs out there practically. Last one, Tommy. Does it bother you at all that some mom in a car pulling in a van might be blindsided by this? And let you wrap it up.
Well, again, we did the edit to make sure that wasn't the case, that we didn't do anything to blindside that mom.
Okay. Well, guys, we appreciate it. Good discussion. Thanks again. I wish give me the warning or give me a better edit or both. But we appreciate it, guys. More coming up. Michelle Obama mad after such a great week. It's coming up.
Geico's been saving people money on car insurance for over 70 years. And who doesn't want value for their dollar? Been true since the day I made my first dollar. Where is that dollar? I got it out to show you.
Was it rather old and wrinkly?
Yeah, you saw it?
Fancy a crisp?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
If I were to offer you $50,000 in cash, or $50,000 in gold, and you couldn't cash it in for 5 years, which would you choose? This free special report gives 5 compelling reasons why you should choose gold.